Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. And oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a treat for you this week? Not only are we playing a new game system, we've got a new game master, one that you've heard before, and actually, not to stroke his ego too much, but a lot of you request him as a GM and get very excited when I say Dr. Brad Will is here to GM a game. And Brad, people just go crazy. Ooh, Brad's back. I love Brad. So don't disappoint us as we play a game of Numenera.
Okay, no pressure. Thanks, pal.
We spent a long time last week talking about Numenera, the system, and kind of how it works and some of the character development stuff. And I think we're ready to begin an adventure if there are no pressing questions from anybody. Everybody understands the game. Brian's got it down. Pat?
Yeah, I think I got a pretty solid idea of it.
Okay. Well, that's really half the fun right there. So, Brad, where are you going to take us?
Okay, well, I actually wrote, which is something I don't do, I wrote up a nice little preamble, and I'll read it to you all. 10 years ago, Mater Phyllis found the drive. In her search for oddities, artifacts, and Numenera, she had journeyed north of the Spirit Lands, across the River of Sagas. While camped on the edge of the darking wood, Mater Phyllis woke to the comforting hum of the drive, just barely perceptible in the otherwise silent pre-dawn hour. Phyllis followed the deep resonant vibration to a clearing in the forest. Tearing a layer of snapweed and thulium vines away from the massive obelisk, she revealed the surface of russet synth. Within minutes, Mater Phyllis and her expedition crew had stripped away all the vines and undergrowth, and the drive stood revealed in the morning sun, 5 meters high and 3 meters wide. The now familiar motes of inky black raced along the intricate grooves of the obelisk's 4 surfaces, and protruding from the western face was the hub, spinning, constantly and consistently, as it always has and always will. Both Phyllis and the expedition's right, Valence Parn, recognized the potential of the drive and its spinning hub. With some clever engineering, this source of persistent and reliable kinetic energy could serve as the central drive of a lumber mill, a grist mill, and more. Within months, the expedition camp had become a settlement, and Valence Parn had worked out the structure for a belt drive and flywheel to power a synth steel blade. The mill would provide the new community with enough lumber to build a small village and protective palisade, and still allow for valuable export trade. Over the years, the village grew, attracting brave settlers willing to venture into the wilds far north of the Steadfast. Farmers found the soil south of the Darking Woods suitable for growing quadrotriticale and other grains, and Valence Parn further capitalized on the endless spinning of the drive's hub, building a grist mill immediately south of the lumber mill. The drive remains an enigma, even after the arrival of Galen Brill, an Eon priest who was sent by his order to investigate the obelisk. The only clue to any information about the builders of the drive, if he could be said to be a clue, was found when Billy Doodle was digging the foundation of what would become Doodle House, the village's first and only alehouse. About 2 meters down, Billy's spade struck a patch of synth, the same deep, dark orange color of the obelisk. Eventually, Billy uncovered a hatchway, and when she pried it open, out climbed Silica, a strange automaton made of a dense clay-like substance. If Silica knows anything about the drive, the automaton has not shared it with the community. Galen Brill has freely shared all he has learned in his years of studying the drive. Unfortunately, the wise Eon priest's insights seem to be next to nothing. 10 years after the discovery of the drive, the village and its surrounding farms thrive. Regular caravans bring valuable trade goods and haul away loads of darking lumber. The tree jacks have cut back the forest, leaving an open ring of 100 meters around the village palisade. A few massive old-growth shade trees were left within the palisade. With 2 large mills, a steady stream of visitors, and more than 100 folks living in the village proper, the village of Drive is a noisy, remote, and friendly place we call home.
Oh, who wrote that, Brad?
I don't know. That was written by Glory Thipp, the mayor of the village of Drive.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, I will let her know that you appreciated it.
Please do.
All right. So, that's the village of Drive. That is where you all find yourselves. And I would like to start off just on a random morning. Well, not maybe a random morning, but a typical morning in Drive. The only remarkable thing that's been happening in town recently is that every morning, a little flock of about 6 gazers stream into town from the north, and they circle around the drive, flying around. Gazers are little silver balls. Well, they're pretty big balls. Imagine about the size of a basketball. And they circle around the drive, flying around it. They circle for a few minutes, and then they head off back to the north again and leave town. Other than that, pretty much everything in Drive has been normal. So I would like for y'all to tell us where your characters are on this beautiful morning, what you're doing, what you look like, who you know, what your life is like. Who would like to start?
All right, so I am playing Silica, who already got a bit of an introduction. Silica is some sort of automaton. He's humanoid. He has kind of a round torso. Like he's kind of like when you see like weightlifters, he's got like that physique rather than like a bodybuilder. So thick chest, thick midsection. He appears to be made of some clay-like substance, which is probably closer to fired clay that wasn't glazed rather than, say, wet clay or anything like that. It's like a dark red with some brown streaks. He's wearing a pair of pants because that's what people in this village do. And also attached to attached to his body, he has on one arm has a what looks like a bracer, which really does not absolutely clashes with aesthetically the rest of him, because it looks like if you stuck an Apple product in a lump of clay. And if I'm allowed to also have one of these other ciphers put in.
Did you see the third one?
I did see the third one. So am I allowed to have that one installed?
You can have that one installed.
Okay. So also above his pants line, where his belly button would be, there is a black box, sort of like just a square, like a cube that's seems to be protruding from his stomach, which also does not look like the thing on his wrist and does not look like anything else on him. Silica, again, he has a humanoid face, but his features are very exaggerated. He has a very wide mouth, big ears, big nose, tiny eyes. On any given day where there wasn't something pressing that the village asked him to do, Silica would be where he normally is, which is it Doodle's Ale House? Is that what you said, Brad?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Doodle's Ale House, because it was built on top of where he was being housed, have built him like a kind of like a garage or a stable, where he just kind of stands there immobile for a lot of the day, unless there's something to do. So on any given day, he's just kind of standing there, staring off into nothing, while people, go back and forth about their business, unless someone specifically asks him to do something.
Very good. Who would like to be next?
I can go.
Thank you.
Maurice is probably, she might have actually gone out to watch the gazers, and then darted off to try to do some chores for someone in exchange for breakfast, which, she probably runs the rounds in the town. Like, she's really flighty, so hard to pin down any part of her schedule, but like good at anything she kind of sets her mind to doing. So, especially if it's like, oh yeah, I need to like get my gutters cleaned. It's like, oh yeah, no problem. Happy to do that. Like get all up in there and then like have some eggs, and is just like super friendly, running around trying to help people where she can. And then probably just like also getting into mischief when she's bored and doesn't have anything that she needs to do, like chasing, chickens and spying on people and just like running around and climbing on things. She has light skin, kind of like spiky white hair, and a white tail that looks like a cat, blue eyes, and is wearing a leather jerkin and kind of baggy pants, and she's got like, again, probably moves around throughout the village, but has some like barn where she mostly sleeps and keeps her stuff when she's not running around.
Very good. Who's next?
I guess I will go. Is there like a public well in this town? Something that someone could just grab a lot of water from?
There is a public well. It's off to the edge of town, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great because my character, Rupert Manley, is over there at that well, and he is hoisting up a big bucket of water because he is drenched in sweat. He is massively tall. He is 7 units tall. I don't know what the unit of measurement is a billion years in the future, but he is 7 units tall and just is built like what we would know as an MMA fighter. And he has been training since even before the Silver Balls came to town. And he's been training with his master, who very respected mentor. I regard him very, very highly, but he has many enemies. So I'm always around him, kind of trying to protect him. But I've been working out. I've got my shirt off. It's down around my waist. And I wear a kilt, like a nice plaid kilt, as my only clothing. And I'm picking up this big bucket of water and pouring it all over my body and shaking my hair in the morning sun. And I look to the mentor and I say, "There goes the baker with his tray, like always. The same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning it's the same since the morning it's the same since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town." And I'm flexing and trying to towel off from the morning sweat.
That you poured all over yourself.
That I pour the water all over myself, trying to get clean for the morning. And the mentor just kind of
he's
rolls
also
his eyes.
oiled himself so well that
Yes.
the water doesn't do that much.
Yes, it does. It just kind of beads off and drips down. So that is Rupert Manley.
Wow. All right. Excellent. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
I feel like Osbert is probably also at the well, bugging Rupert. He's a skinny-ish fellow, has shaved sides of the head, long hair, swept to one side, mischievous green eyes, has a purple stripe that goes up one side of his face across his left eye, has shimmery synthweave poncho and leather jerkin, crossbow slung across his back with a pretty loaded down backpack filled with various exploration equipment. And he's there at the whale, kind of bothering Rupert, going, "Hey, come on, man, let's just take a few days. I heard one of the merchants talking. They said that they found some ruins taking a shortcut. If we hurry, we can be the first ones there. I promise it won't be like last time. Come on, let's go check it out."
Osford, another one of your schemes. Come on. And he's still stretching, trying to get all the kinks out. What is it this time?
I don't know, man. We have to go check it out and see what it is before someone else does. That first pickings. I mean, who knows what kind of neat Numenera we can find there.
What's in it for me this time? More troubles, more battles,
possibly, but
more headaches,
what's in it is
more
your
saving
share
your skin.
Yeah, you'll get your share of the Numenera. I mean, we'll both profit off of this.
And I kind of lean down to him. Listen, Osford, as soon as the mentor goes home this afternoon, we can talk about this. I don't think he's going to miss me for a couple of days. So if we can get there and back in a couple of days, I think I'm in. But it better be worth it.
Yeah, right. No problem. Yeah, I'll get some stuff ready for you.
And I look up at the mentor. I don't know what his name is. He's some old wrinkly guy. And he's kind of got his eyes closed like he's half asleep.
Is he? And he continues to be asleep if you're waiting for me to be.
Yeah, no, he continues to be asleep.
He is pretending to ignore you.
That's fine.
Yeah. All right, let's do the last.
He's going to miss out on some awesome flexing.
I'm sure his life will be all the poorer for it too. All right, let's hear about the last but not the least character, Anim. Rob, what do you got?
Anim.
Anim. Oh, Anim. Oh.
Anim will stroll into town from the forest, so a ways out there. Tall, scrawny teenager, has a harness on him, carrying a mostly concealed animal with its head sticking out. Round, or the animal's got a round white head that you can see is looking around, but is not particularly well described, or not well described. That's obviously not well described. I'm describing it. It's not particularly distinct, and wearing a collection of plates and like carapaces and fur skins over as a makeshift armor for him. Wandering in, bringing in a sack of whatever berries, mushrooms, etc. you happen to scavenge from the forest this early morning.
Okay, and he's coming into town?
Yeah.
All right. So as you all are going about your daily things, trying to entice others and whatever, the usual bit with the gazers happens. 6 of them fly in from the north. They probably flew past on him, as a matter of fact. They circle around the drive, circling. They seem to be circling longer today than they typically do. But suddenly, there is a loud crack. Bam! Massive crack. And then a rumble. Those of you who can see it, see a big, dark, black beam tear across the sky and then go away almost instantly. At that same moment, the lumber mill begins to collapse. There's a bunch of screaming. Particularly, you can hear the voice of Valence Parn, who is the Wright who built the lumber mill, screaming, "Help! Help us! Help us! Get over here, please, anyone!" Who would like to go over there?
I'll go over.
All right.
Maurice will also rush over there.
All right, thank you. All right, so as you get there, Valence Parn immediately sees Rupert Manley and says, "Oh, I need your help! It's collapsed. It's collapsed on Pondy. Pondy's stuck under the flywheel." And you can see the flywheel is laying there across a little Pondy mitten, who is the helper for Valence Parn, and it is clearly crushing his legs. And someone needs to lift this massive flywheel off of this this poor little child.
I'm going to try and lift this flywheel off of the little child, and I'm going to say, "Osford, pull this kid out when I lift this up."
Okay.
Yeah.
So the difficulty for doing this lift is going to be a difficulty of 6. It is an intimidating task.
Wow.
And a difficulty of 6 means you need to roll an 18 in order to achieve this.
So this is the part where I can spend some of my might points to bring that down a little bit.
You could spend some points to put forth some effort on this.
So I will go ahead and spend what I have to spend, 3 points or 2 points.
Do you have a might?
My might is 21. Your might, and I also have an edge of 1. So that'll take it down to 5.
No, okay. So it costs 3 points. Since you have an edge of 1, it'll only cost you 2 points to put forth effort. All right. So that'll get it down
to 19.
1 level. So your might points are down to 19.
Okay.
But now the task has moved from being a difficulty of 6 to a difficulty of 5. And what that means is you now have to roll a 15 or better to pull this off.
Do you have any kind of lifting skill?
I do not have a lifting skill. I have a jumping and a climbing skill.
Yeah, he's a jumping and a climbing guy. Let me help you out, or I'll help Rupert Manley out. Rupert probably has a basic sensibility of simple machines.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he can see nearby that large piece of timber that used to be a part of the lumber mill, but is just sitting there, would make a really good lever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll grab that and use that as a lever.
Okay, and so using the lever will help you out. Now this task is a level 4 task, so you only need to roll a 12 or better. If there were anybody else around who could help you a little bit, that might reduce the task even further.
Is Silica around? I heard he was standing around the village, or I thought I saw him standing around in the village.
Silica is definitely on his way.
Okay. And then
so I have fleet of foot, so I can get there pretty quickly. So I could potentially also be there, depending on.
I'll point to Anam, and I will also point to what is your name? Maris? Mm-hmm. I'll point to Maris before I get this. Come help me. We must help this child.
All right. So with some help from some other people who are also trying to lift and pull the child, we can get this task down to a level 3 task. So you've got to roll a 9 or better on a 20-sided die. And I'm not sure that it is possible.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, very good. Well done. Or is that the number? I think we'll call that well done.
I mean, actually,
I think it's the number you have to beat. I think you have to roll better than a 9 on a 20.
What? Poor little kid. He died.
He did not die.
We're all sad now.
Pondy did not die. That's a really bizarre question. Why was I thinking in my head it was 9 or better? But then as soon as you rolled that's how I thought it. That's how I thought it was too. She had to roll a 9 or better. A 9 or better. Is it? Let me
Why not?
Check this. Well,
I mean, do we want this child to live or not? Ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands if you want the child to live. Say, I believe. I believe.
I don't want the child to. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
I believe it's meet or beat.
It is meet or beat. All right, very good. There it is. Your target number was 9. Yes, it is articulated specifically as a target number. Why? Maybe second guess that. Okay.
The muscles pop out of Rupert's, biceps and triceps, and you can see his back muscles and his legs are straining. And the others are also helping.
So Pondy Minton is able to be pulled out.
So I grab him and skid her out of there as quick as I can out of the building.
One of his legs is really, really, really horribly mangled. But if you get him to the ale house, probably somebody there can at least apply some first aid and get this child started on some healing. So that would be a great thing if you could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Running our medic. Help this kid. Someone, anyone.
Medic. All right.
So Silica is on his way there, and then when Osvald basically runs past them to take him to the ale house, Silica does a slow turn and starts following them back to the ale house.
So you get him there. Billy is there in the ale house as she always is. And she says, get him over here. Get him over here. She clears off a table and she starts to take care of the child. There's also the other attendant there. His name is Randy, and Randy comes over and he's also helping out. And Billy's shouting stuff at Randy, and it looks like they're going to get this kid taken care of.
Okay.
Meanwhile, at the now wrecked lumber mill, Valence Parn is just crumbled in a heap in shock at the horrible thing that's happened to Pondy and at this ridiculous tragedy that has destroyed this lumber mill, his pride and joy.
What happened here?
Whatever has happened, well, the drive seized up. You know, for years I had a belt system, and I just had a belt that was pulled off the hub, and it wasn't efficient enough for me. So I clamped a gear onto the hub, and everything was run by a gear system instead of the old belt system.
Rupert just kind of stares at him.
Look,
how long ago did you do that?
I was only about 4 years ago.
Oh, well, that doesn't seem like it would cause the problem today.
Well, I don't know
what the Gazer's fault.
I don't know what's fault it was, but look, the drive isn't spinning anymore. It's not doing anything. And the drive, even when the gears of the mills were not engaged, the drive would constantly have a little hum to it. Just it was actually a nice, very pleasant, just a little mechanical hum that was constantly coming from the drive. That's gone now. Also, the face of the drive was carved with a series of grooves, a really intricate pattern of grooves, almost like a maze. And all along these grooves were little black shadows that would just race along the grooves. The black shadows are gone now also. Clearly something horrible has happened to the drive.
Shall I go fetch the Aeon Priest?
Oh, yes, please do. Go find Galen.
I will run off.
Okay, well, Galen has just a little hovel over there. You know, typically an Aeon Priest in a normal sized community would have a nice temple that they'd be operating out of. But Galen Brill is not that kind of Aeon Priest, so he's just a fellow mostly.
More of an Aeon monk.
Yeah, more of an Aeon monk. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So when you find him, he's actually still in bed, hasn't gotten up yet. Although he did hear that big loud noise, the crack and the rumble of the lumber mill collapsing.
Yeah, and she'll just throw open the door and like jump on his bed and be like, "Get up,
child! What are you doing?"
There's a problem over at the mill. There was a big flash of lightning, and now the drive's broken.
Trouble at the mill, you say? Well,
yeah.
I guess I'll be there in just a few minutes. Give me a bit to get a spot of tea and get dressed, and I will be over there.
Old men move so slowly.
Did you say the drive is broken?
Yes.
The drive is broken.
It's not humming.
The drive is not humming. Okay, let's go. And he's only wearing his underclothes, but now he's racing out of his house to get to the drive to see what could have happened to it.
Rupert's standing there and goes, "I think what your problem is the drive's not humming."
Brilliant, sir. Brilliant. I suppose that's
drive's not humming?
That's your idea of humor, is it?
No, it's obvious. The drive's not humming. That's why everything's not working.
Yes, obviously. Eventually, Galen Brill gets over there rather quickly. He starts taking a look at things. He notices quickly that Valence Parn has got a severe wound to his left arm, and tells Valence to head over to the alehouse to get somebody to take a look at that. And Valence goes. So Galen asks anybody who's standing around, what exactly happened?
There was like flash
black lightning.
Black lightning? Black lightning. In the sky.
Right after the gazers came.
The gazers came. Yeah, the gazers have been coming every day. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Where are the gazers now?
Did they go back north like they usually do, or?
Did anybody see if they went back north?
I might have.
Just
I am
looking.
very good at that.
Then yes, you did in fact see that they went back north. They zipped off back north after the big collapse.
Went back where they normally do.
Okay. So, well, what's that? And Galen points to the north, directly to the north. And you can see a black beam, maybe. It appears from here to be about the width of a human hair, but there's definitely a black beam stretching from the ground all the way as high as you can possibly see anything being. Then it basically is just invisible. It becomes so thin. Was that there before?
Is it moving away or is it just standing there?
It's just standing there.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that before either. Clearly something has happened. So you say the black lightning, did it strike the ground somewhere or did it just cut across the sky? You all remember that it just cut across the sky. I'll help you with that one.
it was just across the sky.
Excellent. Awesome. I think we need to find out what happened. Well, who's up for an expedition?
Oh, me.
Well, no, child. No, I was asking these fellows here.
But I'm going to come anyways.
What do you mean you're going to come anyways?
I mean, try to stop me. She darts around.
Okay. All right, fine. Whatever.
I'm in.
You're in? Excellent. Thank you.
So Silica will arrive at the obelisk, and he'll look at it and say, "It's not humming."
It's not humming, Silica. It is not humming. Can I ask you all to put together some gear? I have a plan. I've noticed. Come with me to the palisade. And so he drags you all to the palisade. Do you see how?
By now I've put on my shirt.
Oh, that's good. There's an oddly, minimally clothed group. It still is actually. He says, "Look out over here at the tree line. You see how the trees are all uniformly thick, uniformly old, uniformly well nourished. Except if you look directly north, directly where that beam is shining, you see there the trees are thinner. Do you see that?"
Yeah.
Silica, I'm sure you've noticed this. We've talked about this often.
Yes.
Many years ago, Silica and I took a probe and probed the ground in that area. In fact, probed the ground basically from here into, I would say, what do you think, a kilometer or so into the tree line.
Yes.
And there is something about 2.5, 3 meters under the soil, all the way out there. In fact, as far as we cared to go, until we got tired of going further, because the trees seemed oddly thin. I think we need to head north. Can you all put together an expedition for me? And let's go. I've got to get some tea, and I guess I ought to get dressed also. That would be a good idea.
I'll go get my bag.
Brilliant, child. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're ready to go.
I look at Osvard. Are you going on this?
I mean, if you are, I suppose I will. I mean, my stuff's already packed because I had other plans, but this might be a bit more important.
I got nothing else better to do today.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I'm in.
All right. So eventually you all meet, I guess probably there at the gate of the palisade, heading north out of town.
Yep.
All right. Kalen wants to come along, but he's quite a bit older than, well, no, it's not quite a bit older than Silica, that's for sure. But he's quite a bit older than the rest of you, and is likely to slow you down. But he would prefer to be allowed to come on. I'm supposing that nobody is going to object to that. Here he comes now, in fact. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
shouldn't you stay back and like make sure that everyone's okay?
Nonsense, child. Nonsense. Valence is here. Glory is here. She's the mayor. It's her job to make sure that the town is okay. Everything will be fine and dandy. Fine and dandy. Oh no! And as he says, "Oh no," you see another line of 6 gazers come down from the north. They barrel past you and go into town and begin again to circle the drive. What do you all do?
Chase after them.
Okay.
Does it look like they're behaving differently?
They are simply circling the drive.
Okay. But usually we don't get a second group of gazers per day.
No, you do not usually get a second group of gazers per day.
Can I try to suss out basically any differences between how these are behaving from the usual ones? Just try to like basically figure out what they're doing or get some sort of clue as to what they're doing.
Yeah, so these gazers are very specifically shooting these red beams of light at the drive. So they seem to be either trying to damage it, although it doesn't seem to be having any damaging effect, or they're trying to touch it somehow. But they're shooting red beams of light at the drive.
Okay. Go ahead.
Also, Rob, Annam has particularly good catching sight of things. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Annam sees coming out of just of the edge of the woods a what would appear to be kind of a quadruped animal, except that it is made of steel. It is just standing there on the edge of the woods, looking at the town. It has a long, sinewy looking tail. Well, metallically sinewy looking tail. And it just stands there at the edge of town looking at you all. And the gazers spin around. And now, after spinning around the drive for a moment, they seem to peel off and they seem to be looking at the bits of the lumber mill that have collapsed there.
The gazers are looking at the lumber mill now?
Gazers appear to be looking at the lumber mill. Yeah, they're now going around the lumber mill and flying very close to the collapsed bits of the lumber mill. Yes.
Maybe we should catch one.
Yeah, I'm going to chase one around and try to catch it.
Okay, what are you going to
about that thing?
What are you going to use to catch it?
Well, that's a good question. I was thinking, how big are they again?
They're about the size of a basketball, about a foot and a half, about 18 inches across.
I will pull the blanket out of my pack and then try to just like use it as an impromptu net.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I was going to take off my poncho and kind of try to do the same thing.
Okay, well, are you each going to pick a different one, or are you going to pick the same one?
Yeah, we could try like herding it together.
All right, okay. So the gazer has a speed defense of level 2. So that means it's going to take a 6 to catch one of these in a poncho and or in a blanket. So who would like to try first?
I've got a speed of 17 and a edge in speed, so I'm gonna go for that.
Go for it.
You don't add bonuses. You actually just negotiate up front that you're good at things.
So if you want to use some effort to do this, you could. That would make this almost a sure thing. So if you spent 3 points of speed minus your edge, you could put forth some effort to reduce this down to a level 1 task, which would only require you to roll a 3.
Cool. Yeah, so my edge is 1, so I'd only have to spend 2 points.
That's correct.
I'll do that.
All right. So roll a d20.
Well, I rolled a
look
nat
at
20.
that, a nat 20.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
Oh, so
snap.
there's a special thing that happens with, 17, 18, 19s, and 20s in this game, Brad?
Yes, correct. Yep. So if you were doing damage, you would get to do plus 4 points of damage. But in sort of a regular sort of action roll, you get a major effect.
Oh, cool.
So you can imagine you can sort of tell me what you think a good major effect might be here.
So, maybe I catch 2?
You could catch 2. That would be a thing you could do. Sure. Okay. You get 2 of them. And so there they are in your blanket. I'll tell you what, let me give you a better major effect
Sure.
you might want to do. How about when you catch it, you also knock it out and disable it.
Oh, perfect.
As
Great.
opposed to having 2 gazers stuck in a blanket, having a
Struggling around.
Yeah, gazers caught in a blanket might be a better thing for you, actually.
Works for me.
All right. So you catch it and punk, it lands on the ground and it seems to be out. It seems to be unconscious, as if a gazer were ever conscious. All right. Who else is grabbing one?
I mean, I was going to try.
You want up?
Yeah. I'll try sneaking up on it. I don't know if I'll be able to actually leverage stealth as an advantage on that, but yeah, I'll creep up and then try to jump and net into my poncho.
You have a edge of 1 in speed, so it would only cost you 2 to put forth some effort on this.
Okay.
If you want to.
But I wouldn't be able to utilize stealth, my training in stealth, to get a.
Oh, okay. We can say you can knock it down with stealth. Okay, so stealth on the gazer, sure. And so you can knock it down to a level 1. You've got to roll a 3 or better. That's with no effort whatsoever. All right.
I'll just try that.
Okay.
Oh, a 19.
A 19. That gives you a minor effect. This is ridiculous. Wow. Okay, so you can pick a minor effect. What kind of minor effect would you like to do? You could.
Yeah, presumably I wouldn't be able to disable it since that was previously established as a major, but maybe I can damage whatever that beam thing is, so it can't retaliate against me with it.
Okay, so it's still trying to fly around in your poncho, but it is not able to fire its beam to try to burn its way out of the poncho. So okay, so you also have a gazer stuck in your poncho. Good job, well done. All right. Immediately, the other remaining 4 gazers they gather together and they start to attack Maurice. They are going to unleash an attack. Now, these gazers, there's a swarm mechanic, so the gazers are going to attack together as one. So they attack you as a level 3 creature.
Oh no!
So, Maurice, you've got to make a speed defense roll. And they're attacking as a level 3 creature, so that means your defense target is 9.
Okay. So can I do like, I guess they already fly. All right, so my difficulty is 9. So
Hey, Sam. Are you trained in any defense actions?
That's a good question.
No.
Okay.
I didn't think about that, and I even get like a flex thing that I can spend as a trained every day, but I put that in perception as opposed to some kind of defense action. So.
Well, I'm almost certain that doesn't specifically doesn't apply to defense actions or like attacks and stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean I've got armor, but I don't have anything special for defense besides just having a massive speed pool.
Okay.
Yeah, how much speed can I spend to try to mitigate this?
So you can put forth effort again, which costs you 2 again.
Okay.
So you can spend 2 more.
I will do that.
All right. So your speed pool is now down to
13.
13. All right. Oh,
I swear I'm not cheating.
kidding. Wow. Nice.
Samantha has hacked roll 20.
Another 20. That's ridiculous.
That's absurd.
That is really ridiculous. Okay, so you would again, if this were an attack roll, you get +4. You can get a major effect. Now according to, I was just looking at your character sheet, one of your major effect suggestions is that maybe you would take a second action this round. That's from being versatile, right?
So I could say like maybe that because I just like nimbly dodge around it and like actually get my dagger out and stab at one of the ones that are attacking it, maybe.
Okay, that'll work. All right. So they defend as let me double check this because they're coming in level 2. So they defend at level 2. So you've got to roll a 6 or better to hit one of these guys.
Okay. And I'm using a light weapon. I forget how that works again. Like I feel like that improves basically my accuracy, but
it definitely does not cost you more in accuracy.
Maybe that's what it is.
So let's just let you use a light weapon normally.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll just roll it. So I roll a 7.
You rolled a 7. That was better than a 6. So you actually hit this guy. How much damage does your dagger do?
2 damage.
2 damage. All right, so you've actually damaged it pretty good, but it's not out yet. So one of the remaining 4 guys has got a massive dent in the side of him. Is anybody else coming over here for this little fight?
How do oddities work, Brad?
Oddities are just sort of a weird thing you have that you can use to do the weird thing that your weird thing does. So you have a weird thing.
I do. I have I reach into my kilt, I guess, and pull out a 6-inch metal bar.
Okay.
That I've been carrying around, pervious to all damage from everything I can tell. We've tried to hack it with knives and blades, and we've tried to heat it. Nothing happens to it.
You've got just nothing. You can't damage it.
I cannot damage it. No,
that's bizarre.
Yeah. I think I would like to. Sometimes I use this as a throwing weapon.
Okay.
I think I'd like to throw it and try to hit that one remaining gazer.
There's not one remaining there. So there are 4 remaining gazers.
Okay.
One of them has taken a big dent from.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the one that has the dent in it. I'm going to try to even it out on each side. So
Okay.
It has another dent on the other side. Maybe knock it out of the sky.
All right.
So I have, I add +1 damage to one type of attack of my choice. In this case, it'd be a ranged attack. That's one thing that happens. I've got to hit it, of course, once. Trying to see if there's anything else I have here. I think that's it. So I guess I'm just going to use it as a throw.
Okay, you can throw it. You were within a short range of this. So
okay, so no penalties or anything.
No penalties for the throw.
Okay.
So it is still it's pretty small. So it has a level 2 defense. So it's still going to be a 6 for you to hit this also.
I'm just gonna try it and see if I can knock it out. I roll a 17.
You got it. Very good.
Bang.
Very good. And that 17 gives you a +1 damage bonus. So
in addition to the +1 damage that I already had for hitting it with my combat prowess.
Yep. So if you had thrown at one of the ones that didn't have a dent in it, you would have killed it. But this one is definitely killed. So we're down to 3 little gazers plus the one that Osford has wrapped up in his poncho that is bouncing around in his poncho. So, Anam, you can see that that creature, well, if you could call it a creature, that metallic automaton that was standing there at the edge of the forest has about cleared half the space between you and the forest. So it is closing on your position and will be here next round of this fight, if we could say we're having a fight, and we are.
Guys,
Who's left with you there? Silica?
What's
Yep.
that thing?
Does it seem hostile?
It seems hostile.
Okay.
It seems definitely hostile.
Silica will say, hostile automaton detected, and then try to Care Bear stare him to death. So he actually puts his hands on, like, makes fists and like stands, like Wonder Woman, and then like the block in his belly activates. And I'd like to use my cipher to shoot the robot Amino.
That sounds like a very good idea, sir. All right, so he is now within short range of you because he's half the distance, so he's within short range.
Okay. So I think cold ray emitter allows the user to project a ray of destructive energy up to 200 feet, 61 meters, that inflicts damage equal to the cipher's level.
All right, so let's find out what level this cipher is.
Okay. Do I roll or do you roll?
You can roll. I technically don't have dice in this game.
Okay. 3.
All right, it is level 3. All right, very good. Now also roll a 1d10, and we'll see if if this is the last use of this cipher.
Okay.
It
I
is
got a
not.
9.
All right,
okay.
so it is still going to function for you in the future. So okay, so you hit. Oh no, roll. You need to roll to hit with this.
Yeah, it doesn't say to make an attack.
Yeah, but you need to roll to hit with this. This is basically just functioning as a weapon.
Okay.
And this guy is not a sad little gazer.
Sure.
He is a notch better. So he is level 4, which means you've got to roll a 12 in order to hit him.
Can I be smart about hitting him, or does it need to be speed about hitting him?
I think you need to be speed about hitting him.
Okay. I'll just roll it because I don't have a lot of speed.
Okay. All right.
So D20, and I'm looking for a 12 or higher.
20, you're looking for a 12 or higher.
Okay. I rolled an 8.
You missed.
Okay.
You chilled a one of the trees. All right. Rob, is there anything Anam wants to do before this creature closes with you?
Would like to throw one of my weapons.
All right.
Which will just be some basic throwing dagger.
Then throw away, sir. So it would be speed if you want to put forth effort.
Sure.
All right.
So that's 3 points to do that, or
it is 3 points unless you have edge, and I haven't printed out your character sheet, so I don't remember if you have edge and speed or not.
I put my edge in might because I thought that would be the combat one, but apparently I thought wrong.
It would be the combat one, except this is a throwing dagger, so I'm making this a speed thing. So this is like this is basically a dex thing instead of a strength thing, right?
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so yes, I will put forth effort.
All right, so spend 3 out of your speed pool, which knocks you down to 9.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And an 11?
11 is a fail, sir. You needed to roll a 12. Oh, no. You put forth edge. Sorry. Wow, it's a 9. Yes, you hit it. All right, very good. All right. So how much damage does a throwing dagger do?
I do not have that written down.
All right,
it'd be a light weapon, right?
Let's find it out.
Knives do 2 damage.
Yeah.
2 damage.
It's like I thought all the light
it's
weapons
just
did
what
the
I've
exact
got.
same thing, right?
Yep, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it. 13.
But
right.
So just so you know, if was this thing at short range?
Yes.
So knives ease.
Yeah, I see that right
throws
now.
At short range. So actually,
light weapons ease attack rolls. So yes, Sam was right when she mentioned that earlier also. So
okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I just couldn't remember the mechanics for it.
Yep, I just did not look at the cool thing I should have looked at that would have told me that instantly.
So does that add more damage then?
No, it just makes
it easier to hit.
Oh,
easier. Yep. All right. Okay, so next round. Now we didn't do anything like initiative, so let's just run down. What is everybody's speed rank? Tell me really quick. Mars is 17. Is that right?
Yep.
And I believe Osford is next at 15. Is that correct?
Mine is 15, yep.
All right. Anam is at 12. Is that correct?
Yep.
Rupert is at 10.
10, yep.
And Silica is at 9. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to go in that order, and I'm going to throw into that at various places our lovely bad guys. So first, Maurice, you can go.
All right, then I'm gonna try to toss another or so yeah. How does this work actually? Because I used my dagger last. Do I have to like take an action to retrieve it or something like that? Or
Yeah, let's say you've got to take an action to retrieve it. I suppose so. You don't have any other daggers on. You just have the one dagger.
well, I have a javelin, so I can use that instead.
I'll throw the javelin. Sure.
All right, cool. So I will grab my javelin and chuck it at another gazer.
All right. Do you want to put forth effort this time?
Yeah, I will, since I'm not getting the ease from last time. So I spend 2 speed. Is that
Yep,
right?
That is
And
correct.
how does your pool refresh?
Your pool refresh with rests, and so there are. So you can actually take your first rest in the middle of a combat.
Oh, crazy!
So all you've got to do is
yeah,
just
it's an
say,
action.
I'm going to spend an action and just chill out for a second. You roll a d6 and you add that roll plus your tier. Everybody here is tier 1. So basically it's a d6 plus 1, and you get to refresh that much of whatever pool you want to refresh.
Cool. All right, then yeah, I will chuck a javelin at a gazer.
All right.
Though I'm going to miss by rolling a 2.
That is a very sad thing, but you missed. All right, so your javelin flies wide. All right. Next, Osford, what are you going to do? You've got a gazer in a poncho there.
Yeah, can I find like some kind of cage or perhaps a heavy like cast iron pot to put it under? And
there's certainly a bunch of logs and general rubble and debris from the lumber mills sitting here. If you wanted to just grab a log and kind of dunk it onto your poncho there.
sure, I'll try to like wedge it under a couple of logs so it can't get away and deal with the new.
The other thing you might be able to do is swing your poncho around with a gazer in it.
I don't know if I want to get close to whatever this big thing is.
Okay, all right. That sounds. The big thing is a bit away from you, right? The big thing is closing on the gate at the palisade, which is going to be short range away from you all, right? So you all are that is Marie's, Rupert, and Osford are at the. I believe Rupert, you're there, right? At the lumber mill. And
well, yeah, I threw my steel rod, so
that's right. Yeah, so you're at least moving toward the lumber mill. Anam and Silica are at the gate, and the gate is where the warder is coming to. So you can just dump something onto this as your action, Osford, and that would move you forward.
Sounds good. I will.
Okay, all right. So you're just going to secure your poncho with the gazer inside. That sounds like a fine move. Anam, what are you going to do? The ward is going to be on you next. So the next thing that's going to happen is the ward is going to advance. If you want to wait till he gets there, you could postpone your action.
Yes, I would like to wait till he... I want to try and use my oddity.
Oh, yeah? Which oddity do you have?
A 15-centimeter synth string that stretches to 2 meters without breaking.
All right. So if you want to wait a minute, we'll let the ward get there, and I'll let you hold your action for his arrival, and then his attack action, if he's going to do one, is going to follow yours. So, blam, there he is. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try and trip him up with the string. Just so we're at the gate, right?
You are at the gate.
So yeah, I'm going to quickly wrap it around one post and try and actually trip him up instead of or to hinder him from getting to wherever it's trying to get to.
Okay, so as if he were like, so you tie it to one post of the gate and you stretch it across the gateway so that if you were running through there, as if you were going to run through the gate, he will get caught up and tangled in this thread and trip. Is that what you're suggesting?
That is the general idea, yes.
All right. That sounds pretty good. I will let you roll for, I think this sounds like a might thing. How well can you hold on to that string? I'll let you roll for a might to see if you can, in fact, trip up this creature. So he's coming in. So he is, as I said before, level 4. And so like any time with a level, whatever it is, creature, if you're doing something that is kind of off the books, it's always going to be at that level. So it's a 12. It's a level 4. So you want to roll a 12 and you can spend a might to put forth some effort if you want to.
I will spend might to put forth some effort.
All right.
Because that's where my edge is.
All right. So it's going to cost you 2 might. You're down to 10 in that pool, as I recall.
Yep. And that's a 6.
That's not going to do it. All right. So he yanks the string out of your hand. The string isn't broken, of course, which is great, but you did nothing to slow him down. And in fact, he just simply appears to be running right past you. He seems less interested in you and Silica standing there. Rupert, what are you going to do?
This thing's in a short range.
Yeah, short. It's going to be within short range to either end, either to the to the four-leggedy thing that's running through.
Yeah, I'm going at the four-leggedy. I'm going to go after the four-leggedy thing. I'm going to reach back into my kilt and I'm going to pull out this weird sphere-looking thing.
Okay.
It may have some blinking lights on it. I don't know, but I'm just going to say, "Look out, dorks!" And I'm going to hurl this thing at the creature that's running at us. So this is a ceramic sphere that can be thrown in a short range. It has a level 1d6 plus 2. I don't know what that means.
So you got to roll a level for it. So roll a 1d6, and let's find out what your what level this cipher is.
And then do I need to add 2 to it? Or
1d6 plus 2, as it says there.
Okay. This is a level 5.
It is a level 5. All right. So you throw it. This one, I guess, when I'm looking at these things thinking, okay, I think this is just going to go. I think this just explodes in an immediate radius. And so all you've got to do is make sure that you throw it near him. So let's roll. I guess you've got to hit him if it's immediate. So let's make a roll to hit there.
So I'm doing speed on this.
You are doing speed on this throw.
All right. I'm going to throw in some effort here.
All right.
So my speed will go from 10 to 8.
All right. You've got do you have edge and speed?
I do.
Yes, you do. Good job.
Let's see. Does my let's see if I have anything else. I don't suppose skills actually do anything, do they?
It's possible, but you would have a throw, like you've got a climbing and a jumping stuff as well.
Yeah, so I would jump up in the air and throw it.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but if you want to jump up in the air, that would ease the level off a notch.
So now I'm down to a 10 or higher is what I need to roll.
9 or higher.
9 or higher.
Every time you knock a level off, you knock 3 off.
All right. Well, let's see how I can do on this. Roll a 7. It misses.
You miss. All right. So there's a slight explosion nearby, but not enough to do any damage to this guy.
Curses.
At least that's the way I'm running this, by golly. All right. Oh, wait. This is a shrapnel detonation cipher. Is that correct?
It doesn't say shrapnel detonation, but it says it explodes in an immediate radius, inflicting damage equal to the cipher's level.
And then
it says 50% of these are massive detonations and explode in a short radius rather than immediate.
So let's roll a d6 and call it odds. It's a normal. It's just going to be right there, or evens. It's going to be a massive detonation.
Odd.
Never mind.
I rolled a 1.
It was such a chance. Okay. All right.
I know you want to blow up this town. You want to destroy all the people in it, including this poor little boy that just had his leg injured, Brad.
Hey, man.
You're horrible and mean.
I'm not the one who's throwing around the explosives, pal. I am not. All right, Silica, what are you going to do? This creature has run slightly past you, but it's still reasonably close to you. What do you want to do?
Okay. Silica will say, changing tactics, and the cube will like recede back into his belly a little bit, and instead his wrist or his like bracer will open, and a little like antenna looking thing will come out of it, and he will kind of aim, like basically he has his hand in a fist, and he'll aim it at the robot, and then he will try to zap it with his onslaught esotery.
Okay. Esotery, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Esotery.
Esoteries.
Is that esotery? Is that an intellect roll or is that a speed roll? I'm wanting to say.
I mean, I pay intellect points to use it.
Yeah, so it's an intellect thing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to put effort into that roll, it's going to be an intellect spend. Also.
Yeah, I'll put some effort into it.
All right. Do you have edge for this?
I do. So I'm gonna spend 2 points of intellect to put a level of effort.
All right. Do you also spend intellect to do this esotery in general? Like this?
I do, but it's 1 point, and I have 1 edge, so
okay.
I think that I can just do it for free.
You could. Okay, so the one thing that happens with edge is edge doesn't apply like over and over again in an action. So its edge is your discount for the action as a whole. So if it costs 1 intellect to do the esotery, and then you want to do effort on top of that, so that's 1 plus 3 is 4. Your edge gives you a discount of 1 that'll knock it down to 3. So you can't apply your edge in one action. You can't apply your edge.
Can't apply it to 2 different things.
2 different things, right?
Okay.
So you want to spend a total of 3 to do that, to throw some edge onto that one. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So your target is a 9.
10.
You got him. All right. How much damage do you do?
4 damage.
4 damage. Very good. All right. He continues to run right past you, though.
Okay.
So he seems undeterred by that damage. But well done. All right. So there are 3 remaining gazers up and around, and they are going to turn on Maris again and take a shot at you. So,
oh no.
Yep, and they are since they're flying in a group as a what do you call it? They're a swarm.
Flock.
Swarm. Thank you. They're going to take a shot at you as a level 3 creature. It means it's going to be a 9 is your target to dodge this.
All right. I'm going to spend effort again.
All right, so that's going to take that down to.
Can I ask a question, Brad?
Yes.
In this case, is there a way for us to spend more than? Can we put like double effort into this?
Not
like
yet, because we're currently capped at our effort of 1. But as we level up, that will increase.
Generally, our effort is equal to our tier.
Oh, okay. So if we have that higher effort level, then we could throw in double that.
Yep. Eventually, you're going to be able to put forth extra effort. So that's not exactly tied to your tier. That's one of the things you can buy with an experience point spend. So that's one of the 5 possible ways you can advance yourself, is to give yourself extra effort.
Also, Brad, I realized I was slightly cheating. So can I just rearrange some powers on the fly to make it not cheating, and have taken armor training as one of my skills as opposed to late inspiration, which I haven't used?
Sure.
Okay, great. Because otherwise I should be taking a penalty every time I make a spend speed effort, but armor training would prevent that from happening.
Okay. All right. That's probably a good idea. All right.
Yeah. Seems pretty good for a Jack. Especially when a Jack as nimble as me. So I rolled, and because I put in effort, I should be good, right?
You are good. So you did
Sweet.
some damage, and also, oh wait, okay, but
No, I was avoiding damage. That was
that's right. You were avoiding damage. Jeez whiz. Okay, all right, very good. So you did not take damage. Good job. All right. Let's. It's actually your action again.
oh great.
So what would you like to do?
Well then I'm just going to as one of these things comes back to me, I'm just gonna having tossed all my weapons around, just go ahead and just try to smack it with my fist.
All right. You could also maybe pick up a stray piece of rubbly lumber there.
Oh sure. Yeah, I can just grab like a piece of lumber and like use it as an impromptu weapon, like a club or something.
Yep.
Now would that have to be a might check now instead of speed, since I'm not using?
This would be, you would be now at a might check.
All right, that's fine. So what would the difficulty be to hit one of those base?
So it is the same difficulty. So it is going to be a level 3 creature. Oh, I'm sorry. It's this speed defense is a level 2. So it's a level 2. So you're shooting for a 6. Are you gonna pick up a small piece of lumber as a light weapon, or
I'll pick up a small piece because I'm probably more comfortable with that anyways. So.
Okay, so we'll call that a light improvised weapon, which means we can reduce this down to a 3 to hit this guy.
Cool, great. I've just got like a big, not even a big stick, like almost like a long thing timber that I'm using like a rapier, and I'll try jabbing at it, which I'll hit.
All right, so 14.
Yep. So take 2 damage.
2 damage. All right. So now another of the 3 now has a pretty sizable dent in it. Osford, what are you going to do?
Well, as I kind of mentioned before, I don't like the look of that big thing.
It's definitely headed your way.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take out my crossbow and level it at it and try to take a pot shot at it.
All right. Go ahead. Its defense is as I said, a level 4, unless you're going to
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and spend some effort. So I will now try to see.
Do you have edge in speed?
I do, but I also got armor.
Okay.
Armor.
All right.
So
it's still going to cost you 3.
Yep.
All righty.
And so, and I only rolled a 6, so negative.
All right. Yep. Okay. The bolt bounces off the ground nearby. All right. Autumn, what are you going to do?
So the big things run past us?
It is still pretty close to you, but it is definitely in the process of running past you. Yeah.
I'm going to try and take it down. I'm just going to actually attack it this time with... is it all right if I have a forearm blade as my other light weapon?
Sure.
Cool.
And it's close enough to you. You could jump at it and
take
a shot.
That's the plan.
All right.
I am not going to spend the effort or the pool for the effort.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's a straight roll of a 12. You got an 18. Woo! Good job. All right. So you get to do +2 damage on that.
Oh boy.
So you're going to do 4 points of damage. Is that correct?
Yes. Light weapons are 2.
All right.
So yeah.
Very good. All right. Now that does get this guy's attention. So he he spins. You do a pretty good shot at him. So in a little cloud of dust there, he spins around and takes a shot at you. In fact, with his tail of all things, and so his tail slashes out at you. And it's you'd see as it's coming at you, there is a blade on this tail. So why don't you roll a speed to dodge this thing?
All right. Can I spend effort on this one?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to spend effort on this one.
All right. Is that a 3 or a 2 from you? Do you have edge?
I have edge and might.
All right. So you have edge and might, so it's going to be a 3 for your speed. Okay.
6. 13?
13 is going to save you. Good job.
Yay.
All right, so you dodge the slashing tail of this crazy beast, who is not really a beast. Rupert, what are you going to do?
I'm going to punch this beast right in its face.
All right.
So I'm going to use my might.
Okay.
I've got to roll a 12 or higher. I need to bring that down.
Okay.
I'm going to, so I'm going to have to spend some of my cool points
Okay.
to bring it down to a level 3.
Right.
So I have to roll a 9 or higher.
9 or higher.
Let's see. Man, I sure wish I had that other. So let me ask you. I used my shrapnel detonation. That's gone now, right? That thing
is
doesn't
gone.
exist.
It does not.
So I can delete that off of my character sheet.
Yep.
Let's see if there's anything else that I can do. No, I think that's all I can do. So I have to roll a 9 or higher here. And I roll a 13.
A 13 gets him. All right.
So I'm going to do, because I used my fists. When you make an unarmed attack, such as a punch or kick, it counts as a medium weapon. So there's 4 points of damage. Because I am a martial artist, or no weapons person. I inflict 2 additional points of damage from unarmed attacks. So that's 6 points there. And then I guess I should have called it out sooner. Combat prowess, you add 1 point of damage to one type of attack of your choice, melee attack or ranged attack. And I would go with the punching attack. So that would take it up to 7 points of damage.
Okay.
I think that combat prowess move is like a thing that you choose when you make the character.
Oh, okay. Then I'm just going to go with melee then, if that's okay. I know it didn't even count last time whenever I threw that. So I'm just going to go with melee.
We will retcon that, and you didn't need that one piece to knock this thing out cold. It is gone. It is sparking and smoking and in a clump.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. All right. Well done.
Did you guys see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, Rupert, we saw it.
Silica, what are you going to do?
I will say threat appears to be neutralized, and then start walking towards the remaining spheroids.
Yeah, the little gazer guys. Yep.
And then try to shoot those guys with a cold laser.
All right. Do you want to do the one that's damaged or one of the ones that is not damaged at all?
Let's do one of the ones that's damaged.
Okay.
So I think it's just a speed roll.
Yep. So his defense is level 2. So it's 6 or better.
Well, let's see. I got a 7.
You got him. And it collapses to the ground, also smoking and sparking. So well done. So the 2 remaining gazers simply shoot straight up, well out of range of anybody. They are saying adios. Oh, and your cold beam is going to continue to function. Very good.
Okay.
So the 2 remaining gazers flee. They are out of your reach, and there you are with a dead quadruped with a knifey-looking tail and a handful of gazers, one of which is still bouncing around inside a poncho. So one of the things that you could do if you had, say, a delve around or a nano around is disassemble these guys and see what kind of interesting stuff you can get.
I mean,
if only we had a delve and a nano.
Yeah.
If only we had a delve and a nano. So one of the things you guys did not do when you were introducing your characters is go through their little descriptors, which we kind of did in our session 0. But Osford is a meddlesome delve who explores yesterday.
Yes.
And Silica, you are, what are you?
I'm a tough nano who, what is it?
Augments flesh with crafts.
Augments flesh with crafts. Yep.
That's right. Yeah. So, okay. So if you want to, you can tear into these guys and see if you can pull some ciphers out of them. I will tell you that typically you can do that.
Okay. Well, because my cipher didn't get spent, I'm still at my max. And I don't think that I can, unless you're saying that we can pull general ciphers out of these guys and like hand one to Steven, who used up a cipher.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay, I see.
So this is one of the ways you replenish spent ciphers is by yanking them out of, or just kind of finding them in loot.
Okay.
So the gazers, since a couple of them got away, I'll say that you can do you can find 1d6 minus 3 ciphers in the gazers if somebody wants to roll a d6 to find out how many ciphers are in there.
Okay. I guess I will roll 1d6 minus 3, you said?
Yep.
Hey.
I got a 6.
There you go.
3.
Right. So 3 ciphers in there. Okay, very good. And then the other creature, it also has it has 1d6 ciphers and 1d6 shins. So you guys can roll that. And by the way, in this game, GMs kind of by design don't roll dice. So that's this might be something normally
really cool.
a GM would be taking care of. But which one was first, shins or ciphers?
Ciphers then shins.
Okay. All right. Ciphers then shins. So so you guys have found a total of 7 ciphers and 5 shins, and you can figure out amongst yourselves how to pocket those. So one of the other things with ciphers is when you get them, you've got to figure out what kind of cipher it is. So sometimes ciphers can be reasonably recognizable. So between Silica and Osford, and if either of you were to fail to identify a cipher, I would say that at least certainly here in town, you could ask Galen Brill, the Eon Priest. So sort of here in town, or at least when the two of you are together, we can call it kind of a non-roll. Since at worst it would be a level 2 and you could get help from somebody to knock it down, so we could make it into a non-roll to identify these ciphers. So I'm going to grab 7 ciphers and I'm going to throw them into these.
Although I'm quite good at finding ciphers, I am not good at figuring out or crafting Numenera. So.
Oh, really? So you're not good at figuring out Numenera? Oh,
no.
Every type has like a thing they're really good at, and they're actually bad at everything else. So like, I'm bad at salvaging them, and I mean everybody's bad at everything involving Numenera, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Except for I'm specialized in salvaging Numenera.
Yeah, he's specialized in salvaging it. I'm specialized in understanding it, and neither one of us is good at crafting it.
All right. Well, for now, we're just going to say you were able to identify these, and we'll go through the rigmarole of identifying them later. So I'm throwing 7 ciphers up here. We have a rejuvenator. We have a cell disrupting detonation, which is another one of those ceramic spheres. We have an instant shelter. We have an attractor, which is a glove that can basically grab an item and make it zip to your hand. We have a reality spike, which is a metallic spike that once activated, the spike does not move ever, even if activated in midair. A might action will dislodge the spike, but then it's ruined. So you get to stick a spike someplace and it will stay there forever until someone does a might action on it. We also have an Inferno wall projector, which is a complex device that creates a wall of extreme heat up to 30 feet by 30 feet by 1 foot that inflicts damage equal to the cipher's level on anything that passes through it. The wall conforms to the space available. It lasts for 10 minutes. So those are
awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome, but they only last for one time unless you know somebody who can jam them inside of himself. And so there are all these various things. So the rejuvenator is a pill that basically restores a number of points to a pool. equal to the level cipher, or to the cipher's level. Sorry, the level cipher. That doesn't even make sense. So I will let you all figure out amongst yourselves here in a bit what you're going to do there. We also have some people who are maybe a bit tired. Do you want to talk a little bit about how recovery works and that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
or
let's
what?
talk about that real quick, and then we'll take a break for this week's episode.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so if you've got a copy of the the Discovery book, the basic core book, there's a nice spread on page 110 and 111 that lays out the stuff about the damage track and how to recover hit points. Let's talk about the damage track first. So you have 3 pools. You have your might pool, your speed pool, and your intellect pool. And everybody burned theirs down a little bit on this one. Some folks more than others. So the damage track is basically just a way to keep track of your basic health. And so the normal level is called hail. And hail means you're doing fine and dandy. Everything is fine with you. Nothing is wrong. All of your stat pools have to be at 1 or higher in order to be hail. If one of your stat pools gets down to 0, then you are impaired. So you are wounded or injured. And an impaired character, when they apply effort, it costs 1 extra point per level applied. So if you apply 2 levels of effort, it would cost you 2 extra points. But you guys won't be applying 2 levels of effort for a little while. So, for example, applying 1 level of effort costs 4 points instead of 3. Applying 2 levels of effort costs 7 points instead of 5. And impaired characters ignores minor and major effect results on their rolls, and they don't deal as much extra damage in combat. With a special roll in combat, a roll of 17 or higher deals only 1 additional point of damage. So if one of your pools goes down to 0, one of your 3 pools, that's where you're going to be at. So you can still function. You're just not as cool as you used to be. If 2 of your pools goes down to 0, you become debilitated. This is bad. A debilitated character may not take any actions other than to move no more than an immediate distance. That is just a couple of feet. You can basically crawl around. If a debilitated character's speed pool is 0, they can't move at all. And when a debilitated PC takes enough damage to reduce a stat pool to 0, they are dead. So if your 3rd stat pool goes down to 0, you're dead. So you're hail, then you're impaired, which is not quite as cool. Then you are debilitated, which means you're just crawling around unless your speed is one of the 2 pools that's down to 0. And then if somebody comes along and knocks your 3rd pool down to 0, you are dead. You're just dead. Everybody got that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating, isn't it? So then recovery. So you get 4 rests a day. And each time you rest, you recover 1d6 plus 1 points. And plus 1 because you were tier 1. So it's 1d6 plus your tier level. So 1d6 plus 1 for you all. So the difference about these 4 rests is just how long they take. So your first rest to get that 1d6 plus 1 is just an action, or basically just instantaneous. You just need to pause and catch your breath for a bit. If you've already done that once a day, then the second time you rest is going to take you 10 minutes. You're going to need to sit down for 10 minutes before you can get that 1d6 plus 1. Then you can do a 3rd rest. This 3rd rest is going to take you an hour of sitting quietly to get 1d6 plus 1. And your 4th rest is going to be a nice 10-hour long rest. So a good night's sleep plus a little bit on the front and back end of that. So the great thing about that first rest is it's just an action. You can take that first rest in the middle of combat. So you all could theoretically take your first rest now, right? And that might seem like the thing to do, but then that would mean that if you needed to take a second rest, it would take you 10 minutes. So you couldn't do a rest in the middle of combat.
And we can't take them out of order?
You cannot take them out of order. Absolutely
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, which would be a good idea. Yeah, but
right.
having taken that 10-minute rest. So the other thing, if you guys are out of order, so let's say that let's say one of you takes a rest in the middle of combat, but nobody else does, right? And so that person needs to take their second rest, right? And so they say, okay, guys, 10 minutes. I need 10 minutes. We need to just sit and pause for 10 minutes. So that person can take their second rest in that 10-minute period. Other people can take their first rest in that 10-minute period. Somebody who doesn't need a rest cannot rest in that 10-minute period. That is, you would still have that first rest available to you, which would only take you an action or just a couple of seconds. So don't go like, oh, everybody took a 10-minute rest, so now I'm suddenly up at the third level of rest. That's not how this goes. So on your character sheets, there's a little checkbox to show which of the 4 rest levels you happen to be at.
It's at the bottom of the first page in the one that Brian gave us.
Yep. So it's 1 action, 10 minutes, 1 hour, or 10 hours. So if somebody wanted to rest now, they could rest. If somebody wanted to rest a couple of times, they could do that.
So let me ask you this. I would like to get my might back up. I've put a little effort. I think everybody put a little effort into this combat and other things that we did today. Yep. I roll this 1d6. I roll a 1d6 and plus my tier, which is 1.
Okay.
Does that then get added, whatever that result is, does that get added to each of my depleted pools or only one?
You can distribute them among your pools however you see fit.
I see.
That's the point you get to. That's the point you get back. And you can
just distribute them. Okay.
Yep. So if anybody want to rest now would be.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay,
I got a 6.
You got a 6, so you get 7 points back. Rupert gets 7 points.
No, I added my 1 already into that.
Oh,
so
okay.
My total is 6. Sorry,
6.
Okay. 5 plus 1, 6.
Good job.
Yeah,
okay.
I could use it, so I'll go ahead and do it too.
So that will actually, as I put 2 of those points into my speed, because you can't go past your maximum,
right?
That gives me 4 points to put back into my might, which takes me back up to my full might as well. So I'm at full health.
That was exactly the number you needed to roll.
Yeah.
Well done.
I am also going to rest.
All right. Sam got 4 points back. So that's, you spent 8 points out of your speed pool. So
yep. So it's all into speed.
All right. So you're back to 13 in speed. All right, Rob, you got a 5 plus 1 is 6. So what are you doing? You spent 6 speed points and 2 might points. How are you going back?
I'm just going to drop it all back into speed because that seems like it's going to drop way faster.
All right. What about Silica and Osford? Are they going to take a rest?
I'm going to pass for now.
Yeah, me too. I only spent like 3 points out of intellect, so.
Yeah, you guys are doing fine. Okay, so we have 1 rest was taken by Annam, 1 by Maris, and 1 by Rupert. All right, very good, folks. All right, shall we take a break for the episode?
Yeah, let's take a break this week. And if you have any questions, thoughts on Numenera, maybe you've played Numenera, did we do something wrong? Did we do something incredibly awesome right? Let us know over in our Discord server. Join that Discord server for free. Come and chat with all the hundreds of other people that are currently in the Critical Hit channel, all chatting, talking, and using the exclamation point Critical Hit. When you do that, magical things happen. What am I talking about? Well, you just have to join the Discord and find out. It's really cool. So do that. Link in the show notes. Join completely for free. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice points are the ones that you need to hit the creature.
This podcast is copyright 2022 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.